Hey guys, look at this dusk in this game. What game this is, I'm sure you all know based on the appearance of the character right here. Now, one thing I just wanted to say, you see small little butterflies that are flying around if you look carefully, and then those leaves, and you see this paper. Can you see that? The paper sort of moving around and all that, right? Do you see that next to the guy? So these little things are the ones that even after so many years, right, make you go wow. Like, the wind is, you can see the wind blowing those papers around, man. So GTA, Grand Theft Auto, yeah, we do make fun of the horse genitalia being or getting shrunk during winter and all that, meaning that they take their craft so seriously that sometimes it can seem to be a bit overdone. But all the same, we can't accuse people of overworking or over delivering, right? Yeah, that's going to be a peculiar kind of accusation right there. I mean, I already said in a video before that they could be a bit more reasonable. For example, try to deliver a game in, let's say, 3 years, right? And then you can deliver a second, like an extended edition or whatever you want to call it, whereby some of the improvements you want to make, you can add another 20% polish and with some extension of the game, and release like a deluxe, maybe deluxe edition. So in this way, like, sort of everybody's happy. That's the way I see it, at least, rather than leaving it for like 13, 14 years and and getting everybody gets literally old, right? You play like maybe two generation of GTAs in your life, and then you're dead, right? That's how bad things are nowadays. Gamers are getting depressed. Yeah, I just wanted to sort of ramble a bit about that before I get into the uh, crux of my talk today, which is about the next generation consoles. These guys around here, funny kind of characters. Hope there's no trouble. Yeah, so basically, when you talk about the next generation, uh, we all thought that, like, PlayStation basically has everything locked down, right? Because they are so far giving like gamers what they want compared to what Xbox is doing. But guess what? Surprise, surprise! Just like in every single generation, one or the other manufacturer somehow managed to shoot themselves in the foot. At one point when PS3 launched, Ken Kutaragi managed to do that by saying, "Go get a second job if you want to afford a PlayStation 3," and they spent the whole generation trying to fix that problem. And subsequently, Xbox, a whole lot of things happened. You all know that. How they screwed up a lot of things, and they sort of crumbled somewhat, and sort of by PlayStation 4, PlayStation is definitely on top of the what's the word for it? It's definitely the top dog, and by PlayStation 5, PlayStation was effectively the dominant console already, and the people have sort of put aside Xbox. However, well, okay, Nintendo is its own thing. It's like everybody is racing towards point A now. Nintendo is just like saying, "Nah, I'm not going to play your game," and it goes off on a tangent. It's like everybody's racing F1, and suddenly Nintendo says, "No, I'm going to do rallying in the jungle," something like that. So Nintendo is sort of running its own race. It's like a very family-friendly kind of a product. So I think Nintendo will have its own audience and its own pathway, and generally people are not gonna make much issue with Nintendo, because it's lots of the time it's just parents buying Nintendo games for their kids and stuff. So the kids just gotta play whatever they're given, right? So they're not gonna make a big drama out of it. That's their big market right there, non-hardcore gamers. So it's not so challenging for them to sort of serve that demographic. However, PlayStation, Xbox is a different category. It's like very tech literate, nerdy people, so they're gonna be very, very hard customers to please. And in this generation, that means from PS5 jumping into PS6, PlayStation has decided that the competition is too easy. It decided to handicap itself so that can have a better fight in the next generation. Therefore, it decides to make an announcement saying that, typical Sony engineering arrogance, right? Saying that yes, we will not issue any physical disc from 2028. Now, this gives us a couple of information right here. When they say 2028, I take it to mean that they are targeting PlayStation 6 to come out in 2028, right? Which is very, very reasonable. Okay, very reasonable timeline the way I see it. If the PlayStation 5 came out about around 2020, peak COVID, right? So 2027, 2028 seems just about right for the new generation of PlayStation to come out. On the other hand, Microsoft was trying to figure out what to do because PlayStation was dominant until a few days ago. And their new CEO, Asha Sharma, I believe her name, is she the first game division female CEO of all time? I don't know. Enlighten me, guys, in the comment section. I'm sure the nerdy among you all will know about that. But to me, she seems like the first one that I noticed. Oh, this is like kind of cool, kind of a tattoo, man. I mean the spray painting. I'm talking about that. Yeah. So she came in and she tried to do some good things, consumer friendly things, and people seem to be generally happy about it. And then the Project Helix, apparently it's supposed to be. Stumbled in the game. See, I stumbled just as I was saying Project Helix, so I don't know whether that's an ominous sign or not. But anyway, she talked about it being like a hybrid between a console and a PC. So, hybrid good or bad? That's a good question because you have hybrid products in various other categories, like you have hybrid cars, right? So they use both battery electric technology as well as internal combustion engine and gas or petrol, as you might call it. And you can have like somewhat of the best of both worlds in those type of vehicles. So similarly, I think Microsoft is trying to sort of be all things to all people. And interestingly, PlayStation, child and friendly scene there. I'm sorry. So how I see it is that they seem to be confused. Everybody seems to be kind of confused. PlayStation decided at one point that they want to bring their games to the PC, so they say that all our exclusive games, after a couple of months, we're going to release it to PC. So the calculation is that we're going to sell more games, so make more money, number one. And number two, the PC people might start to consider, after like getting used to the PlayStation games in PC, they might want to sort of buy PlayStation and experience more PlayStation games. But as people concluded, obviously what happened was the opposite, whereby people say, I'm not going to buy PlayStation, I'm not going to buy PlayStation games. I don't need to. No, I mean, I don't need to like buy a PlayStation to play those games I was curious about, like God of War or whatever, Ghost of Tsushima and everything, because I'm gonna be able to play them on PC, right? So why should I spend more money and get another console and all the jazz? So it sort of backfired, and Sony smarted up from that and said, no, from now on we're not gonna lose our exclusivity. And like maybe Nintendo is a case study whereby Nintendo, their games are simply their own thing. You want to play Donkey Kong, you want to play whatever, Metroid Prime, all these Nintendo games. I've never played much of Nintendo, right? So excuse me for my lack of expertise in that. You got to buy a Nintendo, basically. You got to go into their systems. They're very clear about that from the beginning. So you have to go there to get that group of characters, thus preventing players from saying, I'm just going to buy a PC, I'm not going to buy a Nintendo console, right? So Nintendo seems to be sensible in that regard. Yeah, sometimes you think that if most of them just copy Nintendo, they'll be doing fine for the most part, all these other companies. But anyway, I digress. So we're in a situation where PlayStation sort of smarted from that, opening up their exclusive game strategy, and came back to their core exclusive concept. And Microsoft now are trying to like open up with the who's this guy, man? Some crazy guy came and hit me from the back. Probably need to carjack another vehicle.
to ride around in. So what happened was that Microsoft this time around, they're going to be like two-in-one window apps. You can do all your PC stuff as well as how to say play Xbox games, right? All in one. It is something like what PlayStation did before, because the PlayStation previously is basically a Blu-ray player, so you can play stuff, movies, music, and all that, as well as play a game. So that is like all in one. It's like a value for money, and yeah, that's great. That's what you should do for customers, not ban physical discs. Xbox is trying that apparently with Project Helix. Of course, there are many questions that are still there. For example, like certain PC games do require you to have like a mouse and keyboard and all that paraphernalia. It might not translate well to console type of a remote. So how are they going to do that? So some people are proposing that Microsoft might sell like add-on tools, right? Like a gaming mouse or something for people to pay and buy additional paraphernalia to their Xbox Helix concept, which seems well reasonable, meaning that you can have your two-in-one PC and Xbox game in that console. However, for certain scenarios like certain games, right, that don't lend well to it, you just like some people want to buy steering wheels for their racing games, right? So you got a choice. So that's like a smart kind of a thing, the way I see it. And then what to say? Hold on. But Xbox trying to be everything to everybody might be a problem, because the cost is expected to be very high. You're talking about what, AMD Zen 6, and then what's the other one? Something DNA. Sorry, I'm not an engineer, right? 5 and all that. So basically, it's supposed to be some like high spec stuff inside there. And the rumor mill says that basically they are trying to make it like an exclusive product, right? So the target now is like, if Nintendo is targeting like family and children and like that kind of a casual gamer market. So Xbox is Helix project is trying to go up in the luxurious, exclusive, expensive, all-in-one kind of a product. So leaving Sony to sort of play the middle ground. Of course, Sony screwed up, but that's where we're gonna go into after this. And so what's going on is that if that is Xbox target, they are in for a lot of headache, because the problem whereby the cost of memory and all these things are going up crazy due to demand from all these data centers and AI and all that. So memory, power, everything is becoming like super expensive. Not to mention the crypto industry. So in this situation, for Xbox to go for the luxury component, it's going to become super ultra luxury. So they might have to reconsider on that. Sony was expected to maintain their so-called in-house architecture and the PlayStation Network, that kind of a setup, not being in any way PC, but just a pure console play, but keeping the specs somewhat mid-range and more efficient, because it's like a dedicated gaming console. It's not trying to be a PC and all things to all people. Therefore, it should be a better gaming console compared to Microsoft Project Helix, at least in the price to performance range, because it's not going to use like it's going to be more efficient. They can use like mid-tier chips, and but you extract more performance out of them, because it's got one job to do, which is be a gaming console. Okay, that was the story so far, guys. All this was before PlayStation announced the screw you physical discs announcement. Okay, so now the gate has been thrown wide open again, right? The race is thrown wide open again, because now if Xbox or Microsoft is smart, Asha Sharma, maybe you're watching this, I don't know what are the odds, right? So giving the option of physical disc in Xbox, even just as like a USB attachment or a peripheral, right? Upon launch, I think they should do this on launch, is gonna give them a huge leg ahead of PlayStation, because PlayStation literally shots itself in the foot. Maybe not in the foot, in the cheeks, I guess. Maybe, but in the head means they're totally dead. Maybe not in the head, but they literally, shot themselves multiple times, I would say. Because not only did they make the announcement, they didn't try to sort of backtrack from it or give any mitigation or say that, since we hear your plea, dear customers, we will add a peripheral CD, physical CD option to our PlayStation 6, which will be very expensive or whatever it is. They're not giving any kind of a ground, at least so far, for the customers. Or maybe they're in shell shock, or maybe they just don't care, or maybe they really need to see the numbers turn red, the profits to bleed red before they take any action. Maybe I honestly think that's what it might take, because they're going to say that the proof is in the pudding, and whatever nonsense you guys are spotting on the internet, let's see what happens to the number of units sold, right? So let's say PlayStation 6 just doesn't sell units, okay, nobody's buying it, then they might start to think, okay, Sony as a brand is already like lost the TV market and vestigial smartphone market and everything. So PlayStation was like one thing, it had sort of going for it, and if managed well, it could have been in fact like a kind of a pivot from which they could have jumped to like a next generation of electronic products. However, they just had to they just had to do what they need, right? I mean, at least otherwise, like as Elon Musk would say, fate loves irony, right? So unless they screw up, life won't be so entertaining for many reasons. So I think gamers have to make the call, man. Gamers have to make a decision. Short-term pain for long-term gain, or you guys just are so addicted, right? I don't care. GTA 6 comes with a code or whatever. Just give me my GTA 6 fix. Just give me my PlayStation. I don't care about physical disc. I don't really care so much about consumer rights. We're all screwed anyway, and all that kind of an attitude. So I think you guys know what is the right thing to do, and if Xbox is smart, if it's going to put in that physical disc in its strategy, maybe it can even reduce the cost by maybe being a bit less ambitious with the PC thingy. It's just literally a square box, man. I'm sure they can make it like easily openable, and then you can sort of do what people do with gaming PCs, right? You can sort of reconfigure it later on when maybe the prices come down. You want to swap your fan, swap your memory, swap your whatever. Well, make a product like that. You can make money by selling all those things as an additional swappable product, and gamers are going to love you. And I think the Trojan horse, I think the magic portion is going to be adding a physical CD option to Xbox. They're going to win the next generation, man. I really do think so. Whoa, it's getting interesting right here. So that's how I see it. But if Microsoft thinks that the numbers are just too too horrible, meaning to say that the physical the physical disc is just too damn expensive, it doesn't make sense, then the only option you guys have is the fourth guy in this race, which is of course Steambox by Valve. Now, what's interesting about Valve, we talked about Nintendo, the whole family thing, and running its own race, right? Valve has its own thing whereby it is a very digital centric entity. Okay, you download your games and whatnot, whatever Sony is aiming to be, with the bonus that it's got a reputation. So what is reputation? Its reputation is exact opposite to Sony. Well, when Sony simply cancelled what was it, 500 movies at Canal Plus that it bought, so-called people bought. Sony had its whatever micro agreement there saying that you're not actually buying anything, guys. We can just say bye bye to everything, and we have the right for a very like unequal kind of agreement. Well, Valve did not do that. Okay, so from 2004 or whatever, although it's like a very dominant digital kind of a model, you still have the customers still have the freedom of choice. Customers know that their account, things in their account will be safe. People won't simply delete everything that they had, right? Something like this. Now, is it going to be the same in the future? We don't know. But guys, to be honest, right, let me just get out from games for a while. What I saw in life around me, with all these software thingies, with all these online update thingies for machines and all that is not related to gaming, right? Is that let's talk about everybody, Facebook, Google, what have you, Amazon, whatever it is, all these so-called services, due to whatever reason, internet down, you name it, virus attack, okay, some program made a mistake somewhere, some kill switch, whatever, the whole thing can just disappear in seconds, okay? So physical can never ever go away. You can make it a small portion of the system, okay, but you always need physical. This is what I honestly think. Okay, some people talk about preserving the games of museum and all. Okay, all that is fine. Uh, whatever your reason may be, every of these ephemeral software thingies have to have some physical backup somewhere. So okay, I get it. You want to keep it at a higher price and whatever, adjust it according to your market. Come on, I don't want to use vulgar words, right? I don't want to do that. Look at horses, right? Horses now, there's cars everywhere. Have horses gone away? No, horses are still around, okay? And radio. Now we've got television and all this technology, but people still listen to radio. When you're going on a long drive, sometimes you listen to the radio. You listen to radio in GTA, they mean when you're driving around, right? Inside, oh, I see what is that? Explosive, red color. Dang, I should take a shot at it, man. After all, it's GTA. Right. So, where was I? Yeah. So, physical can be like a niche, small thing, and if Sony was smart, it would have like a digital, option where it's expensive, but some will buy it, and nobody's gonna complain anymore because that so-called option is there. And I heard somebody was mentioning that if Microsoft were to use physical digital drive, they have to pay Sony some licensing. Is this true? I don't know, because I thought the Blu-ray or the physical CD suppliers were many companies, right? But then again, if Sony has the license or the copyright for the Blu-ray technology, then that's again like, why are you losing that additional stream of revenue, right? By taking that away? I don't know, man. Seriously. So, as some nerds mentioned in the internets, I do agree that they believe, I don't know if it's true or not, but they believe the stereotype of the gaming company CEO not liking games, have never played much games before, background is maybe like accountancy or law, only knows profits and so on. That stereotype might be true, because the way they're making decisions, right, seems terribly like based on those kind of things. And like you understand they're business people, and you might want to make a decision that's like maybe 30-40% favoring the customer or customer friendly, and maybe about 50-60% business oriented where you want to make a profit, right? But this seems like 99% business and maybe like 1% gamers welfare or gamers happiness and all these kind of things. So wow, look, I can see some guys walking in the distance, right? That's kind of cool. And that is like ridiculous, seriously, that's ridiculous. What is this generator? Oh, they're doing some work, some contract works, I think, along this river in GTA. Oh, that's kind of cool. Man, the hard work they put, and then they go and remove digital from GTA 6. I don't know, man. I got a feeling that some gamers are gonna just not buy GTA 6 until they release a physical disc. Maybe the backlash is not as severe as PlayStation, but if they do that, I think that will really be like in the future, right? All game developers and all console makers are gonna really respect the gamers and do things properly. I think so. I don't know. What do you guys think? Share in the comment section. So this is the lay of the land currently. Everybody's, I think, rejigging their strategy and seeing which way to because now the door is wide open for everybody to win the coming generation. Valve already has that Steam machine, right? I haven't really checked it out, but if they can start to get the cost down with all these exodus of PlayStation players, they can be in for some wins, right? And if Valve is going to develop some new projects based on what they see succeed in PlayStation or console only games, that can be like that can scratch the itch of players who want those kind of PlayStation games, AAA games. So it depends on how Valve is going to move its chess pieces, as it were. Regarding Microsoft, it's more straightforward for them. They are pretty similar, how to say, conceptually to PlayStation. So all they have to do is just say physical disc somewhere and they're gonna win. Remember how last time PlayStation mocked Microsoft by like sort of, this is how you share a game, and by literally just giving a game to a friend, physical game to a friend. So it's like karma is a bitch, and so maybe Microsoft get a chance to do the opposite in their coming unveiling of their product. So it's an opportunity, Microsoft. So don't do what you usually do and screw things up this time around. Surprise, I myself might even consider Microsoft for the next generation. It's really shocking for me, I know, because of a lot of products by Western companies tend to like break down a lot and be unreliable. So many people buy Japanese, Taiwanese products because of those things, cost and reliability, all these things. So PlayStation has always been like a thing. I think, if I'm not mistaken, my family we had Microsoft 360 for a while, but I can't really get into the games. What is that? Gears of War, Forza, and all that for some reason. But since many games are now available in multiple platforms, but the GTA is a good example, right? So that debate is sort of over. So all Microsoft need to do is make a good console, be a bit customer friendly this time, and see the money flowing in, baby. So guys, what do you think? Who will win the next generation? What do you think each team is going to strategize now with these things being in front of them? I have already told you my viewpoint on the matter. Number one, Nintendo doesn't have to be bothered because Nintendo is living in its own world and more or less sort of has an understanding with the gamers, the customers. So it's gonna go in its own flow. It's gonna keep making money. It doesn't need to worry so much. Okay, let's put Nintendo aside. Valve already has its own baseline business and gamers, so it's sort of safe in that regard. It's not going to lose so much of its market share. It's stable, it's reliable, it's got a track record. So all it has to do is try to figure out a way to reduce the cost of its Steam machine so that more and more console gamers, those people, who just like, some people, we are very basic, we are not like such nerds. We just want to buy a box, fix it to a TV and start playing games, like, so if Valve can go in that direction a bit more, get the price down a bit, then Valve has an opportunity to make a difference in its gamer penetration or profit margin. I already said Nintendo, nothing's much going to change. Valve has a good upside. Microsoft also has a very good upside. All it has to do is mention physical games somewhere, physical CD somewhere along the line, and as long, they again shot themselves in the foot by laying off a lot of people. Now that's a different topic. Maybe I should do a different video. Share in the comment section if you want me to talk about that. But just as a short, brief, paragraph on that. The problem with Microsoft is sometimes when it's so big, you become like a government bureaucracy, And these small, hardworking, okay, some people will say sweatshop, but I digress. Right, hardworking studios who are making good products on a limited budget, theoretically should make better products, fast iteration under Microsoft, because your job is stable, you probably get a salary increment, stock options, all these kind of things, and all the more you want to make better products, right? Wrong, right? A lot of irony. So what happens is the hunger starts to go away because you say, oh, now I have a big company, I don't have to ship such a polished product. Somehow someone will take care of it. They start to slack, they start to slow down. Then what happened is like they just repeat the old games with maybe a non-HD version becomes a HD version. Right, so just add a few things here and there, polish it up, or they do a compilation or best hits, whatever nonsense, and just try to throw it down the throat of the customer. That's not what we want. So I think Microsoft has learned about it, what's happening with these small companies. It's throwing down the gauntlet. It's asking people to ship up or shape out. So although on the surface Microsoft, cutting off all those jobs seems like a shot in the foot, but I got a feeling that it might end up being good for everybody, because people know that you can't just phone in the word they use, right? Just phone in your product just because you're now under a big company, you're rich, you can just chill out. You have to be on your toes because the big company is now waking up, it's auditing, it's asking questions. So if there is a ramp there, maybe I should bring a car and try to fly across the river. Let's try to do that. Okay, so where was I? Where's the right, man? Oh yes. Okay, so what's happening is my predictions, right? Nintendo status quo. Valve has a good upside with cheaper products and continue to improve the service. Microsoft has a great upside because there's this fresh CEO Asha Sharma with a fresh vision. And regardless of how hardcore a gamer she is, which I suspect she's not, but at least with a sincere intent and making effort to understand customers, listening to those people who've been gaming for years, and also by getting rid of people who are not productive, right? Tightening up the games, game studios and all that's under them. Wow, look at that sexy thing. Oh. Okay, guys, I'm gonna go and do something a bit crazy. Whoa! All right, is that cool or what? Yo, GTA 6, come on, man, give us physical discs. Okay, so where was I? Okay, now finally, last but not least, we come to PlayStation, the previous king who rose up after PS3. I don't know, Mark Cerny, is there any chance you may be watching this, bro? So Mark Cerny did a lot to make things right. So I'm sure he's shouting behind the scenes at the suits. I hope so, because you know they work so hard, man. Come on. Yeah, I'm just trying to see if there's any cool weapon that. Oh, this thing looks cool. Dude. Oh, pink. Pink, 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 pink. Let's see. PlayStation, don't blow yourself up. Don't screw it up. PlayStation is what they're doing to their business right now. Kaboom. Okay, don't do that, PlayStation. Okay. Yeah, so where was I? Yeah, so what are we going to do about PlayStation now? Oh my god! The cops are after me! Karma, karma, karma hits, man. Can I hide somewhere? I don't know. Oh, the helicopter is here, god damn it. I gotta hide inside this place. Hopefully the helicopter won't find me. Me and my pink gun. Damn. Oh shucks, the police. Are they gonna come to the side? Okay, I'm getting distracted right now. So let me sort of end the talk. Last but not least, PlayStation, what they should be doing is, I mean, it's like very obvious, right? Reinstate the physical CDs, guys. I think it's by now the technology is so well established. It should be quite cheap. You don't have to do much technology-wise. If you need more memory or what, just get 2 CDs, right? And also, there's another thing is that since you guys are talking about memory being so expensive, why don't you just use the CD, the Blu-ray CDs, right? All the more you want to use them because they are much more cheaper memory stores, right? So you can ship a device which is cheap, which doesn't have so much internal memory, transfer all the memory to the CDs. The way the plastic boxes are designed, we can literally put up to 3 to 4 CDs comfortably inside them, man. Come on. And with all the lessons in the past, I'm sure you can pack more in less. And so if PlayStation goes back to hardcore, CD-based product, and the CD has lots of memory, I think they got a winner in their hands. All they need to do is swallow humble pie, get Mark Cerny to apologize or whatever it is, and say that we love games, we heard you, there was some miscommunication, we're going to have 2 consoles. One is a traditional one with the CD and whatever, all the things that you guys want. Maybe it's going to be a premium. Let's see how much are they going to charge you. Are you guys okay? Please comment. Are you guys okay if PlayStation were to charge US dollar $1,500 for a Blu-ray CD inclusive luxury edition PlayStation 6? Right? Do share in the comment section. And then they can have a cheaper $600 version where it doesn't come with the CD, whatever thing. It's more base version for people who are, you just don't want clutter in their house, they just want to download, play, and forget about it. They're not attached to the games, they're not going to collect the games, they don't even play often. And yeah, so that's the strategy PlayStation. I already told it to you. I know armchair warrior here, I know, but still, why not listen to feedback, right? You can't lose anything. I mean, you guys pay millions in dollars for so-called consultants to come and audit your companies. Here people are just giving you out idea for free, man. Come on. If you guys wanna pay me to be a consultant, man, I'm ready to do that. Come on, right? So me and my army of internet gamer mates, we are always ready to give you guys feedback for a very good price. So anyway, these I'm giving for free. All right. So that is it, guys. This is how I see the lay of the land from 2028 onwards, and depending on the steps they take, or they want to keep shooting themselves in various part of their own body, we will see what happens next. the nightmare scenario is that everybody says screw you to discs, meaning that then I will foresee that gamers are going to go to the Valve machine, go to PC gaming, which I think is long term good for everybody. That kind of a setup with consoles really losing business. And on the flip side, I see consoles like seeing the mistake of their ways and wanting to have their business go on for some more years and wanting to accommodate a variety of gaming styles, right? As I told you earlier about horses and cars and radios and TVs and all that, people want choices, and certain times the so-called old, old and older technology, older way of doing things can be the right solution for certain problems. That's why even tools at your workplace, you might have some very modern high-tech stuff with all the internet online, and you might also have very traditional mechanical-based stuff because they have their own, advantages, right? Same thing with cars. Lots of cars are now auto nowadays. Elon Musk is even talking about removing steering wheels and brake pedals and all that, right? That's the other extreme. And yet still manual transmission cars, old school cars still have their own beauty and whatnot, okay? So maybe less in numbers, more exclusive, but I would say keep them. And so if the console makers are gonna go with that way, I think everybody will be not the happiest, but at least reasonably happy. And these are the two scenarios I foresee moving forward in the future. And the business growth and depreciation will be based on that. Because if Sony and Microsoft are still going to be insisting on that kind of non-physical CD thing, then I think Valve is going to take all the chips and win and just walk away. That's going to be it. And there will be some, of course, some casual people who are still doing PlayStation and Xbox, but I don't think they're going to grow in a big way. They'll have some customers, of course. Nintendo will have its customers, but Valve tends to win the most, especially by word of mouth. If many of these hardcore nerds, opinion leaders, they all say that, come on man, we're going to leave these two behemoths, Microsoft and PlayStation, behind because they've not been listening to the customers. There's no security of the thing we so-called buy from them. They're converting all the bought products into rented products. And just to also give you another short story, we had machines last time that were from all over the world, and the West or the US made one suddenly said software update subscription, or else no more, the machine will not switch on. And so eventually people just stopped buying or servicing that machine and went on to other machines from places like whatever, Japan, Taiwan, all these places where the price is a bit cheaper, quality is a bit better, and also they don't do all these subscription based locks from you. So the customers gonna eventually move to those places that serve them better. So I hope that the short term vision, the shareholder greed is tempered with the fact that if anybody wants long term success for the companies in which they hold shares, if they want a more long term ecosystem, they'll be wise to listen to my ideas. But if they're gonna just be like rats in a sinking ship, dump all the stock, make the money and run away, then you know what's going to happen. So the outcome, the first outcome and the second outcome, I say will depend on what the CEOs do, but definitely our voice as gamers have a big role as well, I think. So guys, keep voicing out, keep sharing your points, keep being vocal to all those gaming exec CEOs. They have to come out eventually. They can't be hiding forever in La La Land, right? They have to come out for their product launch and all that. And I hope the journals and the gamers will ask them questions. Okay guys, thank you, take care, till I see you guys again in another video. Bye bye.